Earlier suspended Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane's counsel, Advocate Dali Mpofu, said that they may apply for the recusal or removal of the Parliamentary Impeachment Inquiry Chairperson Qubudile Dyantyi. Our reporter Bulelani Phillip has been covering the story and gives us a live update now. Bulelani, give us the background. What brought about this assertion by Advocate Dali Mpofu?
Well, Desiree, it goes back to Wednesday when the Constitutional Court made a ruling that the reconsideration application that was brought by the Public Protector that is aiming to actually halt the impeachment inquiry was actually dismissed for the second time. Now, 2 days later, Advocate Dali Mpofu coming before the inquiry actually, fuming that Parliament had actually issued a media statement that welcomed that Constitutional Court ruling, as well as also welcoming that there is personal cost order against the Public Protector. Now, he's saying that whilst they were in the meeting, in the inquiry on Wednesday, he was not sure whether the chairperson of the committee did actually brief the parliamentary legal team on this new application now that has been taken by Parliament using this Constitutional Court ruling. Now that has been now taken to the Western Cape High Court, where there is a pending ruling by that court on Mkhwebane's application to actually try and overturn her suspension by the president, as well as another legal bid to actually halt this particular inquiry. It's a complicated thing, Desiree, but I'm going to try to simplify it down. What Advocate Dali Mpofu is trying to say is that the inquiry chairperson is supposed to be a neutral person, and Parliament issuing that particular statement that supports the Concord ruling, by extension, it means that the inquiry itself, which is chaired by this chairperson, Mr. Qubudile Dyantyi, then means that the process that they are embarking on at the moment is supposed to be a neutral and impartial process. But he's saying that that particular statement then means that this process of the inquiry is now not being reasonable and is not fair. And he's saying in his own words, and I quote him, it's a pipe dream that they think this is going to be a neutral process. Hence, they are now saying that in future, they may come with an application that calls for the recusal as well, or the removal of the chairperson. Now, again, the chairperson, in his response to this particular move by the legal team of the Public Protector, is saying he's noted that particular a threat or, let's say, intention, but he's not going to make a ruling now. He'll make a ruling in due course. And as the proceedings, as we speak, are underway, and as we sit now, we're at break. Desiree?
I have to admit my head is spinning. But Bulelani, there have been several touch points during the process where there were doubts about the credibility of the process, and Parliament has always come up to say this is, although it's the first time this is being done, it's uncharted waters and we're all figuring out the correct ways of doing this. Is this a threat? What are the possibilities of something like this scuppering the process?
Look, I think there are two things there that we must actually put as a foreground talking point. One is the one that you mentioned, is that this is a completely new process for Parliament. It's actually the first time that Parliament is actually considering the removal of the head of a Chapter 9 institution. Now, the history to that, they've had to actually do specific rules that actually allow for this particular process. The second point that we must also foreground on is that this process must actually be fair and transparent, and hence the issues that are being raised by the legal team of the Public Protector is to say that whatever witness that comes here, they must be checked in terms of credibility, in terms of the information that they have, as well as in terms of the kind of assistance that they can give the committee. That's right.
So Mr. Dyantyi says he acknowledges what Mr. Mpofu hopes to continue to do, like ask him to recuse himself from the process. Does he acknowledge the possible problematic nature of such a statement and the wording thereof?
Well, I think at this stage, this matter is still up in the air. And I think what would assist is the sooner that the legal team of the Public Protector brings that particular application, the better. Because at the moment there has been this narrative that has been driven by Advocate Dali Mpofu that they don't see this process as being credible, and they've actually questioned a lot of the witnesses that have come before this inquiry to say that some of them are disgruntled employees. But now he's actually come and become explicit to say that it doesn't feel that at the moment the committee or the inquiry is reasonable and fair to the Public Protector. So those are the issues that the committee will have to consider, and I think the sooner the application is brought and as sooner the committee chairperson makes a ruling on that matter, the better.
Of course, this is not all that happened this morning. What else transpired?
Well, at the moment, we've just had preliminary, leading of evidence by a senior legal advisor in the Office of the Public Protector, Mr. Mondo Sitole, who is actually going through, as I speak to you now, if you can hear in the background, around the issues of the compilations of report, and he's been taken through the issue of the compilation of the report of the Friede Dairy Farm, as well as the subsequent legal challenge that ensued, and whether the Public Protector at the time knew what the legal representation or the challenges thereto of the office would be when the matter was actually challenged in court.
Bulelani, thank you so much for updating us. Of course, it's a Friday. Are they picking up again Monday, or is there a break as it happens sometimes?
Well, the proceedings are going to be continuing again next week, and we're looking forward to actually, hearing from some of the witnesses that will be coming. But of course, the big issue right now is that when will the committee sit and discuss the list of witnesses that have been submitted by the legal team of the suspended Public Protector. And what will be interesting is that to get to know the identities of those people that will be coming to actually give evidence in favor of the suspended Public Protector.
Bulelani Phillip, it's been a long week. Thank you so much for updating us on this sometimes very complex and technical process.